Hi students, welcome to plus one computer class. So we are discussing about algorithm and flowchart. In the previous video we already seen flowchart. What is mean by a flowchart and definition of flowchart. Then also we discussed about the characteristics and also the limitations of flowcharts and different types of symbols that we are using in flowchart generation. Okay, so our second step in phases of programming is once you identified the problem, second step was preparation of algorithm and flowchart. So we discussed about algorithm, that means theoretical aspects of algorithm and flowchart. So next we are going to start the practical section. How we are drawing a how we are creating an algorithm or drawing a flowchart for solving a particular problem. So in this video we are going to discuss sample flowchart and algorithm preparation. So three sample algorithms and also flowchart we are going to discuss. So that I am going to explain first. So the first question was, the first one, find the area and perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, you want to find out the area and perimeter of a rectangle. Area and perimeter. Okay, first I will write the algorithm. And after that, the same algorithm I will convert it into flowcharts. Okay, first I want to write the algorithm, then after that I will convert that algorithm into flowchart. To find the perimeter of a rectangle, what is the equation? Perimeter is equal to 2 star L plus B, length plus breadth. So what is the equation? Perimeter P is equal to 2 star L plus B. Then to find the area of a rectangle, A is equal to L star B. Okay, so we know the equation perimeter 2 star L plus B and area A is equal to L star B. So that equation I am going to use. So what is the first step? Step 1. You know, every algorithm starts with start. Every algorithm starts with step 1, start. Then step 2. Immediately after the start operation, we are inputting values. So for this operation, to find the area and perimeter of a rectangle, we need two variables. Which are the two variables? Length and breadth. Okay, so how many values you want to input? You want to find out the length and breadth. So we can write like this. Input L comma B. L for length and B for breadth. So once we got length and breadth, then we can find out the area first, perimeter first, and after that area. So step 3, we are finding the perimeter. So what is the equation to find out the perimeter? Perimeter P variable. P is equal to 2 star L plus B. Okay, what is the equation? P is equal to 2 star L plus B. Then step 4. Again I am going to find the area. A is equal to L star B. A is equal to L star B. So we found the perimeter and also area. P is equal to 2 star L plus B and A is equal to L star B, because there is no other statement required, because direct equation. We know the equation, then we can substitute values in the equation. Then once we got the perimeter and also area, what will be the next step? We are printing that value. Step 5, print P comma A. What is it? Print P comma A. First we are printing the perimeter, then after that area. So once the output statement is over, step 6, stop the termination or stop the steps. Clear? So this is algorithm to find the area and perimeter of a rectangle. What is the first step? We are beginning the execution. It does not require any special symbol like decision or connector. Decision is not required because it's a direct statement. We are substituting the values and after that we are printing the value. So we got the algorithm. If we know the algorithm, then we can easily convert this algorithm into flowchart. So you know, flowchart means it is a pictorial representation of algorithm. Okay, what is it? Pictorial representation of algorithm. So I am going to draw the pictorial, that means flowchart for this algorithm. Okay, so how we will represent step 1, start. Which symbol we are using? Terminal symbol. Start. Okay, start symbol or terminal symbol. Then after that, step 2, input L comma B. What is it? Input statement. So for representing input statement, which symbol we are using? Parallelogram. Parallelogram symbol. So inside the parallelogram, what should I want to write? Input L comma B, length and breadth. L comma B. L comma B, length and breadth. After the input statement, you want to find out the perimeter and also area, both belonging to processing statement. So for processing statement, I am going to draw the rectangle. So inside the rectangle, I can write like this. P is equal to 2 star L plus B. This is for the perimeter, and A is equal to L star B. A is equal to L star B. Processing symbol. After the processing symbol, next one is print the area and perimeter. Again, parallelogram. Print P comma A. P for perimeter and A for area. After the printing, we can stop. We can terminate using the terminal symbol called stop. Clear? So this is the algorithm to find the area and perimeter of a rectangle. What is the first step? We are beginning the algorithm with start. After that, input to variable L comma B. Then after that, find the perimeter. P is equal to 2 star L plus B. 2 star L plus B. Then after getting the area and perimeter, you want to print P comma A, then stop it. Okay, we can use stop. Then start, input L comma B. P is equal to 2 star L plus B. A is equal to L star B. Print P comma A, stop. Listen, all the algorithm that I am explaining in the video, you want to copy in your notebook. Algorithm and also flowchart. So what will be the question? Write an algorithm and draw a flowchart to find the area and perimeter of a rectangle. This algorithm and flowchart is in your textbook, but also you want to draw that in your notebook. First write the algorithm and convert that algorithm into flowchart. Clear? So this is an easy algorithm because there is no decision or there is no condition based checking is present. We are directly substituting value and after that we are printing the value. So sum and average of number and area and perimeter is very easy algorithm and flowchart because there is no decision is present. So this is normal algorithm and flowchart. So next I am going to discuss algorithms with the decision symbol. Okay, algorithm means according to the decisions we are creating or we are solving a problem. So, hope you understood. This you want to write algorithm and also flowchart. Both you want to write in your notebook. Clear? Then, next question. Next question is, you want to create an algorithm and draw a flowchart. The question is, find the height of the taller one among two students. Okay, two students' height is given. You want to find out the taller student's name. or you want to find out the taller students. Okay, that is the question. So two values are given, H1 and H2. H1 indicate height of the first student, H2 height of the second student. So we had two input or two values, H1 and H2. Then you want to compare these two values. Then two possibilities. If H1 greater than H2, first condition, if the height of first student is greater than height of second student, then which one is taller? H1 is taller. H1 means first student is taller. Then just opposite. If the condition is false, that means H1 is not greater than H2. That means H1 is lesser than H2. So another option, if this condition is false, then which student is taller? Second student is taller than the first student. Okay, so in this problem you want to include one condition. What will be the condition? H1 greater than H2. If the condition is true, first student is taller. If the condition is false, second student is taller. Clear? So here we are solving the problem according to the decision. Okay, according to the decision. So we don't know the values of H1 and H2. It may be different. So according to the condition, this problem is executing. Okay, clear? So what is the condition? H1 greater than H2. If the condition is true, first student is taller. Otherwise, second student is taller. So first I will write the algorithm. Then after that, I will convert that algorithm into flowchart. Then algorithm step 1 start. Okay, step 1 start, step 2. Okay, I require two variables, H1 and H2. H1 for height for the first student, H2 height for the second student. So I can write like this, input H1 comma H2. H1 comma H2. H1 for height of the first student, H2 height of the second student. Then next one, I am going to write the condition. Step 3. What is the condition? H1 greater than H2. What is the condition? H1 greater than H2. Normally in algorithm, if we are specifying the condition, before that you want to insert one keyword. What is that keyword? If. Okay, if condition. Okay, actually it is a keyword that we are using to indicate the condition. So condition we are including inside the parenthesis or function bracket. Okay, all these are programming notations. If we will discuss in the programming itself. If condition H1 greater than H2. If the condition is true. If the condition is true, what do you want to display? If H1 is greater than H2. So we can write like this, print H1. Okay, what will be the statement? Print H1. Print H1 means which one is taller? H1 is taller. If the condition is false. Step 5. If the condition is false, there are two keywords we are using in condition. If for true value and else for false value. So here we are using one more keyword. What is it? Else. Else indicate false value. If the condition is false, what will be the statement? If the condition is false, what will be the statement? Step 6. H1 is not greater than H2. It is smaller than H2. So what will be the next statement? Print H2. H2 is smaller. Then after that, step 7. If the condition is over, okay, by this we are terminating the condition. You want to write end of if. Okay, we are terminating the condition. To terminating the condition, you want to write end of if. Then after that, we are terminating the procedure by stop. Clear? So the total number of steps is 8. So what is the first step? Start. Then after that, you want to input two variables, h1 and h2. h1 to represent height of the first student, h2 height of the second student. Then after that, we are checking the condition. So before every condition in algorithm, you want to include a keyword called if. If is a keyword. It conveys a special meaning. If condition. What is our condition? h1 greater than h2. If h1 is greater than h2, then what will be the result? Print h1. h1 as taller. We are printing h1. Then program will terminate because the condition is over. Then you don't want to execute the else statement. If the condition is true, the program will terminate or the algorithm will terminate at the fourth step because you don't want to check the false condition. If the condition is false, h1 is smaller than, from third step it will go to fifth step. Fourth step will not execute. Then we will get h2. Then after that, end of if. We are terminating the if statement and then stop. Okay. Then next I am going to draw the flow chart for this corresponding algorithm. Start. Then input statement, parallelogram. Input h1 comma h2. h1 comma h2. Then after that, we are going to begin the decision symbol. In the decision symbol, or I am going to draw the rhombus. Is h1 greater than h2? Then at the beginning itself, I already mentioned, for decision, single entry and 2 exit flows. Okay, single entry flow and 2 exit flow. That means you want to represent 2 condition. Any one of the condition will execute. This is for true and this is for false. Okay, first one is for true and second one is for false. So if the condition is true, which statement will execute? If the condition is true, which statement is executing? Print h1. Okay, so again I am going to draw one parallelogram symbol. Print h1. Okay, if the condition is false, the condition is false, print h2. Okay, so 2 cases you want to represent, but in practice any one of the execution will work because there will be 2 options. First option, true. Condition may be true, otherwise false. Any one condition will execute. So after the true and also false, we will get set of statement. So every statement you want to terminate. So stop. Then we can write like this. Some of them will write like this. But this statement is not terminated. Okay. This parallelogram is not terminated. So that also you want to terminate. After printing h1, you want to terminate. So you want to connect the print h1 statement to the stop. So once the execution statement is over, we are terminating the operation. So after h1, we are stopping the execution. It will lead to stop and stop the procedure. Clear? I think it is clear. First one is algorithm and second one is flowchart. We are just converting algorithm into flowchart. So first one, input 2 values h1 and h2. Then after that we are comparing h1 greater than h2 or not. h1 is greater than h2 or not. If it is true, print h1, otherwise print h2. Then after that stop the procedure. After printing, we are terminating. Then similarly we can execute one or more operations. Suppose you want to check whether a number is even or odd. Okay, suppose you want to check whether a number is even or odd. Then the condition will be like this. If two variables are a comma b, a comma b, a mod b equal to 0. A mod b, modulus operation. Modulus operation means remainder operation. If when we are dividing 2, okay, we are inputting one value, any one value we can input, it may be a, b or whatever it is, single input is required, input that value and after that we can perform modulus operation. If a mod 2 equal to 0, a mod 2. When we are dividing a number by 2, if the remainder is coming, then the number is odd number. If 0 is coming, then it is an even number. Okay, which is operation? A mod 2. Modulus operation, we are checking the remainder. If remainder is coming, then it is belonging to remainder is coming, then it is odd number. If no remainder is present, then it is even number. Clear? So these are, that also we can write. This is to find the largest number. Then we can write to find the, to check whether the number is even or odd. Okay. Then, so this is to find the taller student from two numbers. Then, next one I am going to take three numbers. Okay. Suppose I want to find, input the score obtained in 3-unit test and find the highest score. M1, M2, M3. Okay, 3 students mark is given. Input scores obtained in 3-unit set and find the highest score. Mark of 3-unit test is given M1, M2 and M3 and you want to find out the highest number, highest score from these 3 numbers. Okay, so what will be the condition? Here 2 decision box you want to draw because the number of input is 3. First I am comparing M1 with M2 and M3. M1 greater than M2 and M1 greater than M3. Okay, I am comparing M1 is greater than M2 and M1 is greater than M3. If the condition is true, what will be the output? M1 is greater than other 2 number. If the condition is false, what will be the statement? If the condition is false, that means M1 is smaller. So you don't want to compare M1 again. So we can compare M2 greater than M3. Okay. If the condition is false, that indicate M1 is smaller than M2 or M3, that we don't know. Okay, so we can compare one more condition, M2 greater than M3. If M2 greater than M3, then we can print M2 is greater, otherwise M3 is greater than all these 3 numbers. Okay, clear? In so many methods we can use. We can write 3 condition, 4 condition, but here I am including this. Algorithm should be always short and precise. So I am going to reduce the steps. So here I am going to give 2 conditions. M1, M2, M3, 3 inputs. First condition is, first I am comparing M1 with M2 and M3. So that is the first condition. M1 greater than M2 and M1 greater than M3. That means mark. If the condition is true, then definitely we can type M1 is greater than other 2 numbers. M1 is greater than other 2 numbers. Otherwise, M1 is smaller. Okay, M1 is smaller, so you don't want to consider M1 again because it is smaller than M2 and M1. So we are comparing other two numbers. Which are the other two numbers? M2 and M3. Again we are comparing M2 greater than M3. If M2 is greater than M3, then what will be the output? M2 is greater, otherwise M3 is greater. Clear? So this is the condition. So according to this, I am going to write the algorithm first. Input M1, M2, M3. Okay, what is the condition? I am going to input three variables M1, M2, M3. Then step 3. First condition. If M1 greater than M2 and M1 greater than M3, then what will be the condition? If the condition is true, print M1. Then next you want to write the else case. Step 5, else. If the condition is false, again I am going to compare one more condition. One more condition. Always the condition starts with if. If M2 greater than M3. M2 greater than M3. Then what will be the result? If the condition is true, print M2 step 7, else step 8, print M3 step 9, end of if, step 10, stop. Clear? So like this. So this is the algorithm. So the same algorithm I am going to convert it into flowchart. Start, then input M1, M2, M3. Then first condition. Is M1 greater than M2 and M1 greater than M3. Draw the decision symbol. If the condition is true, what will be the statement? Print M1. Then if the condition is true, if the condition is false, one more decision box. Is M2 greater than M3? True. Print M2. Then next step. Okay, so here if the condition is false, what do you want to write here? If the condition is false, then you want to print M3. Clear? Print M3. Here we are printing M3. Then is there any space present here? No. So you want to write one more statement. What is it? Stop. So here I am going to draw one connector like this. Connector I can draw. Then here also I can include one connector after printing, and this two statement we are combining. That also connector is present. This also you want to combine. So here two connectors will be there. That connector is going to stop because there is no space. That's why I am including the connector. Clear? So this is the condition. What is the first condition? If M1 greater than M2 and M1 greater than M3. The condition is true, print M1. Otherwise, again we are checking the condition. M2 greater than M3, then print M2. Then if the condition is false, print M3. There is no space. That's why I here included one connector. That connector is present there, and after that stop. Okay, the same algorithm and also flowchart is present in your textbook. So if you have any doubt, you can look at your textbook. Okay, so hope you understood this 3 algorithm, and I am going to give one question as homework. That means you want to write an algorithm and draw a flowchart to find the larger number among two numbers. Okay, it is same as taller one among two students. Okay, so hope you understood. Some more algorithm also present that we will discuss in the next video. Okay then.